Hey everyone, it's the Monday edition of Weather for Weather Geeks. We've got Mike Joyce in the
Hello.
house today, and we're kind of tag teaming the ideas today because it takes two brains sometimes to figure stuff out. We've got another winter storm that presents its challenges coming our way Wednesday.
I know we're tired of it, but it's coming again.
It is indeed, and hopefully, we were talking just before we hit record here, hopefully, we're going to see flurries on a few occasions for the rest of the season, but hopefully this is the last accumulating snow
Yes.
that we have to, grit our teeth over and deal with the models flipping all around and all the forecasting headaches that come with winter weather. Let's focus on the near term real quickly, and then we'll get to Wednesday's storm. It's a quiet day across most of the country today. We've had some sun in and out here in Youngstown. As you can see, there's not much on the radar. A little bit of shower and thunderstorm activity down in deep South Texas, and there's some rain and some snow out there in parts of the Rockies. That's part of the system that's going to track across heading our way on Wednesday. But yeah, locally, not much going on today. It's a pretty nice day out there. We had a nice mild weekend, at least parts of it, Saturday. What was the high Saturday? Do you remember what it was? It was...
It was... Oh, boy, it was
into the 40s.
It was in the 40s, yeah. It was mid-40s.
I didn't pay much attention Saturday. I kind of unplugged.
Actually, no, I remember now. It was 30. It was actually 38.
But it felt better than that, didn't it?
It did. It did initially. Then we got a little bit of snow mixing in.
Yeah, okay, I'm thinking of Sunday. I was out Sunday, and it felt better. It felt warmer than it actually was.
It was actually, I think, only in the 30s Sunday, too, but the sun and all that helped a lot.
I'm getting my days confused. That time change is confusing.
Yeah.
We're into daylight saving time here, and one of the challenges that presents for meteorologists like Mike and myself is that computer model data now comes in an hour later than it did earlier when we were in standard time. So when we record these videos at this time in the afternoon, about 2:15, we're not fully stocked yet with all of the information that we would like to have before we make a forecast. So before we go on the air this evening at 6 o'clock on 21 News, we'll probably still be making some adjustments, but we're going to show you the most recent information that we do have and bring you up to date on how Wednesday is looking. So in and out of the sun today as far as temperatures, bring those up real quickly here, and closing in on 50. It felt great outside on my way in today. And it definitely feels warmer than it did yesterday. But like I said, even yesterday felt pretty nice when you were outside. The sun in March is much stronger than it was a couple months ago. So even if the temperature isn't that warm, if the sun's shining, it really makes a difference. So there is cooler air not far to the north and west. Check out those temperatures up in the Midwest. It's in the 40s in a lot of places, but the clouds up there are making it feel a little cooler than it is here. We are aided by the sunshine here. All right, let's skip ahead to Wednesday. Let's bring up our computer model information here. We're going to start things off with the middle of the night, Tuesday night. And this is the NAM model. We've got the surface analysis here, the pressure, the isobars. We've got the precipitation type here. At, let's see, this would be 5 in the morning. On Tuesday, we've got low pressure down near Cincinnati. We're still in the warm air here. So, if you're up early in the morning on Wednesday, it's probably 36, 37 degrees in some spots. So,
too warm for snow.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever falls early in the day Wednesday, it's definitely going to be rain. It's not going to be snow. No problems getting the kids off to school. No problems getting to work across the valley on Wednesday in the morning. Our problems will come later in the day. So this is 5 a.m. Here's 8 a.m., and at this point, low pressure is centered somewhere down in here. The mixed precipitation line is back here, still north and west of us. So again, if it's precipitating at 8, it's going to be rain in the Mahoning and Shenango valleys. And then we'll roll ahead to 11 a.m. right here. And this is where the low is starting to shift just to our south and east. The cold air is trying to wrap in on the northwest side of this, and it looks like the mixing line's right along I-71 from Cleveland down to Cincinnati, firmly in the snow area in Fort Wayne, Toledo, Detroit, Lima. But again, here at 11 a.m. even, we're probably still with rain. The model trend since last night has been for a warmer idea for the first half of the day Wednesday, and that's because the low, instead of tracking down here, is a little farther north now. And the farther north and west the low is, the more warm air that's going to get pulled up. Remember, around low pressure, the flow is counterclockwise like this. So a more southerly push with a more northerly track of the storm will bring in some warm air. So again, that's 11 a.m. And then here's 2 p.m. and this is finally when we should be starting to see some snow mixing in. And it's going to thump, I think, for a few hours. What do you think? Somewhere from 2 to 5, that'd be kind of our real danger zone on Wednesday.
Right, that's probably it. And then after that, commute home, it could be a little dicey, but after that, if you are going to be out and about maybe 7, 8 p.m., it'll probably be almost good by then, at least with snowfall rates.
Yeah, exactly. Things will still be slick in some spots, but the rate in which the snow is falling out of the sky by sunset, which is now 7:30, will probably have decreased. But again, here's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, starting to snow in a lot of places. 5 o'clock, starting to see a dry slot trying to work in here, but here in Youngstown and surrounding areas, it's probably, as we said, still probably snowing at a pretty good clip. And then at 8 in the evening, a lot of blue here, but the snow rates, as Mike just mentioned, will be lower at this point. There'll be snow showers, yes, but the snow will not be accumulating as easily by sunset and after on Wednesday. So that's how the day itself is going to kind of break down. Another thing we can look at real quickly is the vertical velocity field, and we look at about 10,000 feet up in the atmosphere for this. And this is a way we can kind of pick out where the strongest upward motion in the atmosphere is. The more upward motion there is, the higher the precipitation rates tend to be. Here's 10 in the morning. Again, we're on the rainy side at this point, so some light rain. But notice here as we get into the early afternoon at 2 p.m., not only are we changing over to snow, but look at these kind of brighter colors in through here, and that indicates to me that precipitation is going to be coming down at a pretty good clip. So we're going to go from wet roads to, especially on the non-main roads, on the side roads, to pretty slick roads in a fairly short amount of time. It looks like mid-afternoon on Wednesday. All right, so other things that we can show you, and we're just going to go through this real quickly because we don't want to get too technical on everybody. Let me adjust my monitor if I can here. This isn't going to show up real well, so I'll tell you what, Mike, we're going to skip the SKUTs.
All right.
We were going to show you some more kind of geeky meteorology stuff, but it doesn't show up real well on my display here, so we'll skip that and go over to the question of how much snow we're going to get. And this is a simulation on the GFS computer model here, which will hopefully...
Gotta love the computer.
Yeah,
right?
it seems as though it would be mad at me at this point. There we go. So again, just another look at how things should progress on Wednesday. We showed you the NAM on our other source. On this source, here's the GFS. Similar idea. We've got the rain in the morning. Here's 2 in the afternoon, and that's just when the changeover should be occurring. The first places to get the changeover to snow will be Trumbull County, Mercer County. Last places to get the changeover down into Columbiana County, down towards East Liverpool. But everyone's in the snow by the end of the afternoon, and then it pulls away. Same idea on the NAM model, which we showed you. Now let's talk about amounts a little bit. Here's the latest SREF. This is a short-range ensemble model. There's 21 what we call members of this model, and each member is represented by one of these colored lines. This is the latest run. We should get a new run of this within the next hour or so. But bottom line here is that you see a lot of lines clustered down here, and very few up here. This top line up here is 17.5 inches. So that one's kind of out on its own. That doesn't seem real likely.
No.
Most of the members of this model are clustered down here, which is somewhere between 1/2 inch and about 6-7 inches. And then the mean, or the average, is this darker line right here, which the scale is just off your screen. It's about 3.5 inches. And this is quite a drop down from the previous runs of this model and other models. So the trend has definitely been for more warm air to be involved, a slower changeover to snow, and therefore lower snow amounts. And this particular model is right at the Youngstown Warren Airport in Trumbull County. So we would expect amounts to be a little lower south, a little higher north. So that's what that model says. Hot off the presses. Just came out a few minutes ago before we recorded this, the latest European computer model, which, we kind of generally regard as one of our more accurate models, but it even struggles sometimes. It's struggled on a few of these storms this winter. It's still advertising some higher amounts. It has 7.4 inches around the airport in Trumbull County. Amounts do get lower as you go south, as we would expect, but even down in southern Columbiana, it has a solid 3, maybe 4 inches, and the higher amounts definitely up towards I-90 from Cleveland over to Erie. So what's our forecast going to look like? That's going to be the main question, and I think what you're going to see us go out on the air with will be something like this after we kind of tweak things a little bit. Probably a zone that cuts kind of like down here, encompassing East Liverpool, East Palestine, maybe up to Newcastle, maybe a 1 to 3 area. And then we'll probably have a 3 to 6 area kind of like this, which will get Youngstown, Austintown, Canfield, Poland, all the kind of the close to Youngstown places. And then, so that's maybe a 3 to 6. And then up into here, maybe a 6+ area. And if anybody's going to get 9 or 10 inches at this point, it's probably up towards Ashtabula, eastern suburbs of Cleveland, Erie, places like that. So, maybe there's an area up here, like a 6 to 9 area or something like that. Again, these are preliminary numbers. We're going to be tweaking them this afternoon before we go on the air, but wanted to give you a first heads up as to what we're thinking here. One thing to keep in mind, something that, as meteorologists, we struggle communicating to people sometimes, 3 to 6 does not mean 6.
Right.
That means that you have a chance of getting 3 as well. So, sometimes we hear, we put out a forecast of 3 to 6 and someone gets 3, and they say, what happened? We were supposed to get 6 inches. No, the range was 3 to 6. So,
right.
Keep that in mind before the comments come flying out. Around Youngstown, this probably will be about a 3 to 6 storm, but there's going to be a lot of places closer to 3 than 6. You're going to get probably closer to 3 the farther south you are. So, all right, we're coming up on 11 minutes. We're going to wrap things up here. Thanks for checking out Weather for Weather Geeks. I'll be on 21 News tonight at 6 and 11. As always, you can check out Mike on Twitter and on Facebook, and he's on every weekend at 6 and 11. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you later.